Hare Krishna. I don't think it's on Damodar Kumar, is it? I don't think so. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Janavalabha Girivaradhari Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajanarajana Yashodanandana Bhajanarajana Yamuna Tira Natira Balanchari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnu Prabhu Mahamsa Prabhu Jai Ashwat Vishwata Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Kartra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories of the Sons of Krishna. All glories of the Sons of Devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories of the Sons of Devotees. All glories Shri Guru Chidananda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Status Quo, Chapter 32, Entanglement and Fruit of Activities, and Text 11. Atatam sarvabhutanam
Atatam sarvabhutanam
Vidpadmeshu kritalayam
Vidpadmeshu kritalayam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Prabhupavena pamini
Ajabhavena pamini
Atatam sarvabhutanam
Atatam sarvabhutanam
Vidpadmeshu kritalayam
Vidpadmeshu kritalayam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Rajabhavena pamini
Rajabhavena pamini
Atatam sarvabhutanam
Tatam sarvabhutanam
Vidpadmeshu kritalayam
Vidpadmeshu kritalayam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Rajabhavena pamini
Rajabhavena pamini Tatam sarvabhutanam
sarvabhutanam
Hritpadmeshu kritalayam
Padmeshu kritalayam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Rajabhavena bhamini
Atatam sarvabhutanam
Atatam sarvabhutanam
Hritpadmeshu kritalayam
Hritpadmeshu kritalayam
Shrutanubhavam sharanam
Shrutanubhavam saranam
Rajabhavena bhamini
Rajabhavena bhamini.
Is that the sound of the ocean?
Yeah.
Hear it? Sound of the ocean, Shimon? Think of it like that. Okay, so we're Ata. Therefore, Tam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Sarvabhutanam,
Sarvabhutanam,
of all living entities,
all living entities,
Fit Padmeshu,
Padmeshu,
in the lotus hearts,
and the lotus hearts,
Krita Alayam,
Krita Alayam,
residing, Shruta Anubhavam,
Shruta Anubhavam,
whose glories you have heard,
whose glories you have heard,
Sharanam,
Sharanam,
unto the shelter,
Raja,
go, Bhavena, by devotional service, Bhamini, my dear mother. Translation. Therefore, my dear mother, by devotional service, take direct shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart. Purport. One can attain direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in full Krishna consciousness and revive one's eternal relationship with Him as lover, as Supreme Soul, as son, as friend, or as master. One can re-establish the transcendental loving relationship with the Supreme Lord in so many ways. And that feeling is true oneness. The oneness of the Mayavadi philosophers and the oneness of Vaishnava philosophers are different. The Mayavadi and Vaishnava philosophers both want to merge into the Supreme, but the Vaishnavas do not lose their identities. They want to keep the identity of lover, parent, friend, or servant. In the transcendental world, the servant and master are one. That is the absolute platform. Although the relationship is servant and master, both the servant and the served stand on the same platform. That is oneness. Lord Kapila advised his mother that she did not need any indirect process. She was already situated in that direct process because the Supreme Lord had taken birth as her son. Actually, she did not need any further instruction because she was already in the perfectional stage. Kapila Deva advised her to continue in the same way. He therefore addressed his mother as Bhamini, to indicate that she was already thinking of the Lord as her son. Devahuti is advised by Lord Kapila to take directly to devotional service. Krishna consciousness Devahuti is advised by Lord Kapila to take directly to devotional service Krishna consciousness, because without that consciousness one cannot become liberated from the clutches of Maya. Om Ganativedandasya Garanjana Shalakaya Chukshudhan Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karirvachalam Pangam Langai Tegirim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinitanam Vanchakapta Bishta Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let's read the translation again. Therefore, my dear mother, by devotional service take direct shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart. Oh, I got a while. So Krishna is seated in everybody's heart. So he knows exactly what's going on with all of us and everyone. Which is quite an interesting thing, that he knows exactly what's going on with all of us and everyone, because a lot of the times people are confused themselves about what's going on with themselves. Therefore you have this idea of self-realization. It means they don't know themselves. They don't know themselves. Or they have some weird or false conception of themselves, who they are. What is their goal in life? Like some people, their goal in life is to collect collector's items, like people collect pennies or something. I got a penny from 1992. I got a penny from 1965 or whatever. Or they also collect dead butterflies. Dead butterflies. Because butterflies are actually quite beautiful if you look at them. They're flying and nice colors and everything, but they get the dead butterflies and they put them in a little display case, and that's their life. I collect dead butterflies, and they take that as their mission, or at least an aspect of the mission of their lives. So, which we would say that's a waste of time, or that's a weird mission to have, to collect as many dead butterflies as possible before you die yourself. It's a little weird. So yeah, people are confused about who they are and what is their mission, and even as devotees sometimes, devotees get confused too, right? Sometimes, right? Like you got brahmacharis sometimes. Should I stay a brahmachari or should I get married? Right, that's a confusion. They got to go back and forth in their mind, right? Or or a householder, they'll think, should I stay married or should I get divorced? They go back and forth in their mind, right? And of course, anyways, like that. So you could say, yeah, it's a state of confusion, and also. Or you could say a state of not like absolute helplessness, but just a state of lacking strength. That's a difficult state to be in. Just like people, they may be attached to gambling. Yeah, to gambling, for example. So they work hard all week long, like a donkey, right? And just struggling, like extreme struggle to make that money, to get those, get the paycheck, which nowadays mostly goes on your card, You don't see the green cash. Sometimes you do, but it goes on your card. So, like I was talking with this person last night. He's interested in Krishna consciousness, and he was telling me he has a job at a local restaurant. And he was telling me that. I said, well, what do you do there? And he said, well, I have to cut 25 pounds of onions every time I go in. Onions. And I was thinking, wow, and I was thinking, man, that might, I was thinking maybe he was there for like hours or something. Of course, it's only 25 pounds, but in my mind I was thinking, maybe he was there for hours. How long do you do it? And he said about 45 minutes. But he said, while he's cutting the onions, he's just crying the whole time. And when he's cutting, he can't even see. And it's hard for him to see because there's so many tears coming. He's cutting. And he does other things, whatever, at the restaurant. So yeah, and I was just thinking, wow, that seems like a hellish situation, to be in. Imagine, all right, Jamal, after this, we're going to, you could go in the kitchen, you could cut 25 pounds of onions, crying, and it's just. So whatever it is, people, they work so hard, and many people do that. So if someone was to work really, really hard and they finally get that money, but they just can't check themselves. They say, oh, I have to go to the casino. They see the big, they're driving down the 8 East, Yeah, they're driving down the 8 East right here in SanDiego freeway, and they got all these big billboards, huge, humongous billboards, and it says VA House Casino, and there's like 3 of them in a row. VA House Casino, win big, or whatever it says, big money sign, and people can't check themselves, and I have to go, and they go and they spend all their money and like that. Maybe they make some money, maybe they lose some money, but a lot of the times they'll lose money. Not that you win money every time. And like there's one guy who used to come by the lounge, and one time I saw him come by, and he looked super depressed. He was just like really down and just like really depressed. And I asked him, one of his friends, I said, "Hey, what's up with him?" And he said, "Oh, he went to the casino and he lost a few $1,000s. So he's, and for a few $1,000s for people who don't make a lot of money, I mean, that's something, That's like a few months' rent worth of rent, or so it's, it's a good, or car payments. It's, it's a good amount, a few $1,000s for people who have ordinary jobs. So, and then, but in his mind, he's thinking, I'm never going there. Why, I shouldn't have gone there, this and that. And in other words, he couldn't check himself. He has that attachment. He had to go. So it's a state of, weakness. It's a state of confusion, and it's a state of helplessness in a way, because he cannot seem to rise above that, and he cannot seem to figure out the solution, how to get beyond that. So, but Krishna, he's not confused. Krishna knows us better than we know ourselves, and therefore, instead of, you could say, depending on ourselves wholly and solely, right? Our own intelligence, our own strength, whatever it is we depend on, our own money, whatever material things we depend on to become happy in this world, to know how to, make our way through this world, we should depend on Krishna's guidance, which also means the spiritual master's guidance. So this is the idea that Krishna knows everything is in everyone's heart. And also, if we have, if people have pride, then they don't want help, right? Even people who need help, because there's a lot of people who need help, but they're really proud and they can't get help because they don't want to ask for help, because they don't think they need help. So those people who are devotees, non-devotees, whoever it may be, those people who are, you could say, suffering from the disease of pride, they're practically more or less, I don't want to be too dramatic, but they're more or less doomed for failure. They'll never be successful. And specifically in relation to Krishna consciousness, those who are suffering from pride and cannot rise beyond that, yes, they're doomed for failure. Because the very nature of pride, has one believe and makes one very much convinced and think that, yes, I don't need any help. I don't need Krishna's help. I don't need Radharani's help. I don't need Gaura Nitai's help. I don't need Prabhupada's help. I don't need the devotees' help. I could do it myself. Which, that is not the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. The philosophy of Krishna consciousness is that we do need help, and we need a lot of help. So we could analyze within ourselves where we are in relation to that, us understanding we need help or not, and try to see that that is important, that we cast away the pride, the evil pride, because it's evil actually. It's wicked, it's evil, it's wrong, immoral. Cast it away and accept the help of our superiors, Krishna and so on. And practically speaking, that's why most devotees. There's a lot of devotees, and I'm not saying that of all those devotees, it's not like all of them are unsuccessful. But out of all the ones that are unsuccessful, largely it is because of this pride. They don't want help. They don't take guidance. They don't take instruction. Too much pride, and they're unsuccessful. And then of course there's other categories why people are unsuccessful. So we should realize that yes, Krishna is in everyone's heart. He knows us better than we know ourselves, and we should take shelter and guidance from Krishna because he's so close to us, within us, as our master, as a supreme master or friend, or so on. And this is an amazing thing about Krishna consciousness, because it's not that we have a a generic relationship with God, or like a kind of Abraham Lincoln. I'll explain what I mean. Abraham Lincoln relationship with God. There's that big statue of Abraham Lincoln, right? And Ryan's Parts, isn't it? Yeah. So in Ryan's Parts of the Woods, his old stomping grounds, there's Abraham Lincoln there. He's a huge statue. And then, so like people have this concept of God. Okay, there's God, and he's on this big throne, and everybody's kind of like scattering around his feet. Just kind of maybe in a little fear of him. So that's not the conception of Krishna consciousness, because it is quite different. That we're not, trying to strike fear into the hearts of the conditioned souls, fearing God. Like Jamal, you better fear Krishna or else, man, he's going to punish you. We're not giving hell and brimstone sermons where we're trying to scare the HELL out of you to make you surrender to God. Why? Because that's not God. That's something else. That's a weird conception of God. Just how people have weird conceptions of themselves, or strange misconceptions about themselves. Similarly, they have strange conceptions of God, which that is one of them. It's fear, and which is heavily propagated and preached in modern day materialistic or fundamentalists, or you could say Christianity. It's heavily preached, this hell and brimstone and fearing the wrath of God and all these things. Tirthamaj was telling me the other day, he said, anyways, we were joking about something, and then he said, yes, I have a devotee friend, and Mars was saying, I have a devotee friend, and her daughter is scared of God now. And I said, oh yeah, why is that? And Mars said, well, because this father and then the little girl, they were out and about wherever, and Christians approached them. Means modern, whatever, misconception, materialist Christians, whatever, fanatics. They approached them and started preaching to them. Probably Hindu, you're Hindu or whatever they were saying, hell, and you better fear God. And it's almost like the people. It's like they come up to you and they're trying to scare you, like, hey, you better watch your back, like at school or something, they're coming up to you and telling you about the bully. Hey, you better watch your back, man. He's going to get you. It's like that. So, anyways, that's what something in the same light they were saying to this devotee and the daughter. So the daughter's probably 4 or 5 years old, but now she's all scared of God. So it's, it's not a good idea. So, but the idea of Krishna consciousness, that Krishna is very, one is he's the most humble personality, and aside from that, he is the reservoir of all pleasure, and he's the most kind personality, most merciful, right? Karuna Sindhu, ocean of mercy. Karuna Sindhu. So Karuna is mercy, and Sindhu is ocean. So, as I said some time ago in some previous talks I was given here, that the ocean, there's an interesting quality about the ocean, and there's many interesting qualities, but one interesting quality is that the content of the ocean cannot be measured. Right? Has anyone measured that? They measure so many things, but I don't think they've measured that. The content of the ocean, of water. So, similarly, the mercy of Krishna is an ocean of mercy. The mercy of Krishna cannot be measured. It's unlimited. Can't be measured. Or you could say it can't be. Yeah, but it is unlimited. And similarly with the spiritual master, the spiritual master is also, right, we say every morning, ocean of mercy. There's also an ocean of mercy. It can't be measured. So if that is the case, then that Krishna and the spiritual master's mercy cannot be measured, then those are good personalities to associate with. Very merciful personality, very kind, compassionate, right, forgiving personalities. The most compassionate. And the most intelligent also. So we should seek their mercy, and they're willing to give it. And we should also seek their guidance, because in order to become successful in Krishna consciousness, again, we need that special guidance. And in a place in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada says in a purport, he says that, I think it's the 4th canto, he says that Krishna gives the spiritual master unlimited intelligence to guide the disciple. So that's quite a statement, that unlimited intelligence. Now, I'm not going to claim that at all, because that Krishna's, of course, I'm not a spiritual master or something, but I'm a disciple. But Krishna's not giving me unlimited intelligence. That's for sure. But he does make that claim for the spiritual master. Or Prabhupada makes that claim in relation to the spiritual master. And, as followers of Prabhupada, we accept what Prabhupada says. So, we should have faith in Krishna, the spiritual master, their mercy, their intelligence to guide us out of this place we're in. And in this way, we make progress. And it's not that... And it's very personal. So Krishna consciousness is the Krishna consciousness is the supreme personalism. We're not impersonalists at all in any way. But the Mayavadis, they think, okay, well, we're all one and everything's one, and they also have weird concepts, like the concept that sometimes Mayavadis, there's different types of Mayavadis, and New Age, and this, and traditional, and different Mayavadis. But some of the Mayavadis, they think that, we'll worship the deity, right? We'll worship Radha Krishna, or whoever it is, worship the deity. Sometimes they worship different forms, demigods and this and that. And then their whole idea is that they worship the deity, and then when they've gained their enlightenment or whatever they're going for, whatever they're striving for, then they'll cast away the deity. They'll think, now I don't need to engage. I'm going to become one with the deity now. I'm become one with God. And Prabhupada exemplified that. He said that, or also they may think that in relation to their own guru too. Some weird cases that, like Prabhupada gave an example, or he just demonstrated in his life. He was in Mayapur, and in Mayapur you have to, get on and off the boats to cross the river. So Prabhupada was doing that, and Tamal Krishna Goswami was there, and Prabhupada was there, and Tamal Krishna Goswami was helping Prabhupada off the boat, and then Prabhupada accepted the help. But then once Prabhupada accepted the help, then he went like this. So Tamal Krishna Goswami, pushed his arm away, kind of in a rough way. And then Maharaj was kind of surprised, like, what is Prabhupada, what's the problem here? Prabhupada said, yeah, this is just like the Mayavadis, they worship the deity, or they have the guru, and then once they've completed their work, once they've completed their business, and they just, throw away, cast away. So these are strange concepts of impersonalism. And also, you could bring that from the, spiritual side, the spiritual side. And you could bring that to materialistic, modern materialistic life, or just life in general, that we want something from someone, right? A man, for example, wants something from a woman. And a woman wants something from a man, and whatever those things may be, and then once they get them, then they're gone. They cast away that person. That's impersonalism. You just want something from someone, and you take it, you exploit them, and this and then you're gone. It's an aspect of impersonalism. You're not seeing the person in the true sense. You're just seeing what that person could give you. So then personalism, it runs very strong within people in the Kali Yuga, and therefore Srila Prabhupada, he himself composed his own pranam mantra. Someone didn't compose it. Prabhupada composed it. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadane Nivishesha Shunyavari Pashtadhyadishtanane. So he came and he's destroying impersonalism, voidism, right, preaching the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, following Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So completely striving to uproot impersonalism. So that doesn't just mean impersonalism that thinking Krishna to be just a light or something, or thinking Krishna to be a deaf, dumb, blind, God. That's what people, God can't see, he can't hear, he can't, But it also means that impersonalism within us, or within people, in relation to themselves, means like in relation to our relationships. So he's come to teach us how to be persons, how to be devotional persons, how to be devotees, not just in relation to us being devotees of Krishna, but in us being devotees to ourselves, Vaishnavas, Vaishnav relationships, which are supremely personal. They should be supremely personal, not impersonal. So he's teaching that also. Following Rupa Goswami's, right, Dadati, Pritigrannati, offering gifts, accepting gifts. So in this way, Prabhupada's very nicely teaching us how to be persons, how to be personal, and how to engage in devotional service. And in this way, becoming free from the clutches of Maya, or illusion. So does anyone have any questions or comments about anything? No? Okay. What about you, Jamal? No? Okay.
So how do we curb this pride? That's feeling so natural.
It feels so natural, yeah.
I'm the best at this, I can do this. Even on subtle levels of, I can do it better than that guy. Something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, I don't think I mentioned it, but I was thinking the other day, I think on Saturday when I gave the class, like whatever we could do in our life, it is, whatever anyone could do actually, is actually just, everything's going on by the mercy of Krishna. Whatever they're doing, even the materialistic people, you know, they can't, the guy can't hop in his, you know, Mustang, you know, expensive Mustang staying car to, you know, drive off to his big CEO job and then whatever. He can't do any of this without the mercy of Krishna, because that's Krishna's, by his mercy everything's going on practically. You know, we're moving, we're talking, breathing, yeah, air, sun. So everything's going on by Krishna. Food, right? Water, it's all going on by Krishna's mercy. But Bhajanarayan Swami, he said that one time he was at a college and he was giving a talk. And he was giving this talk to all these students, and then, you know, the students were seeming to like it, and, you know, everything was going well. And then he told the story. He said he was thinking to himself, hey, you know, doing pretty good, and, you know, like, whatever, you know, had these thoughts. And he felt himself, whatever, becoming a little proud. So then, after his talk, and what happened is he was getting up to get off the seat, and he said his feet and his legs fell asleep. I think specifically his feet fell asleep. So then while he was getting off, he just fell right on the ground in front of all these students, and he actually couldn't get up. So he had to have the students come and get him up, you know, pick him up and put him back on the chair. I mean, it seemed like this was years ago, but he was saying, yeah, I was feeling so proud, and then, you know, I was embarrassed. You know, I got embarrassed. So yeah, I mean, we're not in control. Like, you know, we get some disease, or, I mean, it happens sometimes, right? People get disease, like a deadly disease, or all types of weird things happen. All types of things happen. So we're not really in control, and whatever we have can be taken away. Like, for example, our voice can be taken away. It happens sometimes. So some may say, oh, hey, well, I'm a great speaker, or I'm a good singer, or whatever it is. Yeah, but, you know, maybe what happens if your voice is taken away? Something like that. Or I'm a great dancer, or something. And, well, what happens if you can't walk anymore? You're in a wheelchair or something. So those, of course, was dramatic, but those things can happen. So the idea is that whatever we have can be taken away from us. And then someone will say, oh, hey, well, I got it right now, though, you know. Yeah, that's true. We may have certain things, but we should just take it as, okay, hey, well, Krishna gave me this. Krishna gave me certain abilities, or Krishna gives everyone certain abilities. And we shouldn't use those. We should recognize, okay, Krishna gave me these talents, whatever it may be, and I should use them to serve the Vaishnavas and serve Krishna and serve the mission of Prabhupada, and, you know, and try to be humble about it. And naturally, over time, if we are proud, whatever, you know, everybody usually. But if we are, then naturally over time, life will just make arrangements to humble us out. That's for sure. So we curb it by our endeavors in chanting Hare Krishna and serving Vaishnavas and things like that. But also, aside from that, life itself will do that. Old age, for example, so many problems, so many issues. Like there's this one devotee, Madhu Mangal. He's an old brahmachari here from South Africa, and he always used to go on Sankirtan, and he would ask devotees. I mean, he would ask people out there. He'd say all types of stuff. But one of his lines was that, "Hey, how'd you get to be so humble?" You know, he would tell people that. Hey, how did you get to be so humble? Yeah. And then, people would say different things, but one time he told me what this guy said. So he went out and he asked this guy, hey, how did you get to be so humble? And this guy just kind of very seriously looked at him. He was like, life, life. So, yes.
I just wanted to, first of all, comment on Charlie Nishta's.
Yes, please do.
About pride. If this is something from personal experience in the Hare Krishna movement, and I remember many years ago, as a brahmachari back in the 70s, I observed something. It's quite interesting. I grew up in Hare Krishna movement on the West Coast, and then I went to New York. I thought, wow, these guys are pretty, hard.
Rough.
Pretty rough.
Tough.
Tough.
New Yorkers.
Not very humble, I thought. Whereas the West Coast devotees were a little bit more humble. Okay, and then when I flew to India for my first festival, I found that the Australian and the New Zealand devotees and those that were educated Indian devotees were very sweet and humble, more than the Americans. And so then I tried to learn, and that by living in India. But it's very difficult when you come back here. That tendency for false ego and pride is very powerful in the West. Yes, it's a very good point. You really have to strive for that. Because without that humility, without being able to keep that straw, in our teeth, how can we, chant the holy name of the Lord and get the results? It's not possible. The second point I wanted to make was direct devotional service is the conclusion of the purport. So sometimes, from my experience in India, when I was making life members, people would say, "Oh yes, when I become old, I will take interest in these things. I am not interested. I must." But my grandmother or my father, he's the devotee of the house. So he's going to, whatever.
He'll give the donation.
Who's going to do it, and that's enough for our family. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take your leave or whatever.
Take your
leave. That's the idea that many people really do have, especially in India, is that I can hire a Brahmin and they can perform devotional service on my behalf. Or some type of service, I'll get some kind of results. So we learn here from Kapila's instructions to his mother that it's important to engage in direct devotional service to get especially quick results in this lifetime. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please have any comments on that. Is that right or wrong?
Contribute? Okay. Yeah, I don't have much experience with, I grew up in America, and I went to India about 5 times now, but I associate with some Indian devotees over there a little bit, but I guess every part of the world has its certain, people are brought up in a certain way, like culturally. And that conditions them in a certain way. Just like for example, in China, I read from some devotee who spent time in China that it's actually what happens is like in a house. There's a big family living in a house, so but you have to walk through a few rooms to get to the back room. So you have to walk through all the rooms. Everybody has to walk through all the rooms to get to their room. So, and what it is, and what was that devotee, what he was explaining was that the most treasured room is the first room, because all the people have to walk through that room to get to their rooms. And the room that is treasured the least is the last room, because the last room nobody walks through. It's just, they're just there. So in other words, they like to see the people, go through the room, say hello, and like that. Whereas in America, which whatever, it's I'm just saying, it's just a cultural thing. It's just kind of how it is. Whereas the most treasured room would be in the back, because nobody, privacy, So it's that difference there, which is an interesting difference. I mean, I went to China and I was there in Shenzhen, and we had a program of devotees, and the program was like 11 a.m. literally till 7 p.m. We were there all day, like in the same room. So we had kirtan and whatever. I gave a talk. They translated, and then there was we had prasadam, and then again we started another kirtan, had another talk. But it was like a holiday thing. So they're very they kind of like that, being with people. And so yeah, every part of the world, America has its upbringing. Every India, New Zealand. I'm not sure what goes on in New Zealand or Australia. Maybe we could ask our buddy Zach back there. But so yeah, but I mean, you could find humble people in America and India and New Zealand, in Australia.
People in America too, no doubt.
So, but it is true that some cultures have more of that training of kind of service towards others, and just like Indians, they have that training. A lot of them that I need to serve the guest, right? So yeah. But you're saying that other point. You're saying about
Direct devotion.
oh yeah, direct devotional service. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people, they don't want a direct relationship with God. They don't want a direct relationship with the spiritual master. They want it to be vague. They want to keep their distance. Because they keep their distance as a comfortable thing, like, hey, there's the guru there, but if I have my distance, he's not going to get in my case about anything. He's not going to, he's not going to correct me. I'm going to be in the background. He's not even going to see me, And this way I don't have to get so involved, right? Because if you get close to the spiritual master, then yeah, I mean, they may correct you, you're forced actually. You're forced to come to a higher level by associating with the spiritual master. By his words, you're forced. If you read, books, you're forced to come to a higher level. And also physical association, you're forced to come to a higher level. So people don't want that. They think, I'm comfortable in my present level, and I don't want to come to a higher level because I like my present level. They're attached to that, false comfort. So that's how people are. And therefore they say, okay, hey, I'll come to some religious society, church, temple, mosque, whatever. I'll give a donation. They'll do a puja for me, or they'll do this for me, and I'll keep my comfortable distance, and I'll be friendly and this and that, but it won't get too close. So that's how some people are. And then like advancement, that's not like an absolutely evil. You could say maybe there's some evil tinge there, but it's not absolutely evil in the sense that it is something good. But for those who really want to make advancement, and for those who really want to be supremely happy in Krishna consciousness and really want to experience the love of Krishna, then they shouldn't do direct. They should do direct devotion to the spiritual master, direct service to Krishna. They should get close as possible. Just like on the altar, we get close to Krishna. We're not like, we get close. I mean, we're right there, this close, to Radha Giridhar, looking Giridhar in the face, looking Radharani in the face. So we get close, and this is, it's direct, it's good. Same with the spiritual master, we get close. It's actually nice. So that's the best. All right, so Jamal and Damodar.
Small comment about pride and curbing that, and it goes along with almost exactly what you were saying. But I was talking to my friend back home in the temple, and specifically we were talking about impatience on the spiritual path, and he was telling me how impatience can strike pride, because he was saying, or like one may think, I should be able to do this because I'm great enough to be able to.
That's a good point.
Gain whatever it is that you're trying to gain.
That's a good point, yeah.
He was saying how we need to flip that and say, well, Krishna, by your mercy, may I become better or able enough to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I guess to curb pride, I guess a small thing would just really be to thank Krishna for his mercy on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Even if you don't feel like it, because sometimes when we're in an agitated mood, we don't say thank you. That's why would I'm not feeling well. Why would I say thank you? But I think that's just a good way to curb that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting point, like this impatience in the spiritual path, because, you know, some time will go on, and when we're not reaching our goal, or we're not reaching the levels we want to reach in Krishna conscious, and, you know, some may think, hey, well, I should be able to do it, like, you know, but sometimes that's not the case. And that actually produces humility, because it's like, well, yeah, I want to be on this level, and I, in many ways, should be, you would think, but I'm not. So it produces some humiliation, actually, and some humility that, okay, well, I guess I better offer some more sincere dandavats. Krishna.
One time, I was listening to a lecture by Swami Radha, and he was saying how he was giving a talk at Chapati, and then one of the congregation members had asked, you know, out of all the snares of Maya, you know, what is the worst, you know, like what is the biggest tormento? And then he says, of course, it's false pride. Because false pride means ahankar, viewership, and you know, we think that we're doing something. But then he mentioned that instead of investing so much pride within ourselves, we should be proud of our Guru Parampara. We should be proud of Krishna's mercy and the mercy upon us. But another comment on just the topic of impersonalism that you mentioned. I was distributing books like a year or something ago, and this is at Mesa College, and I met a student, and she was completely fixed, on.
We're all one?
But like she was a diehard impersonalist Mayavadi, and I couldn't believe it.
She was fired up, huh?
She was, and she was telling me, because she was reading, she was a spiritual seeker, she was reading all these, Mayavadi books.
Ryan loves those ones.
And she said, if you see Buddha, you have to kill him. And then she was,
Really?
And then I was like, really? And then I was literally reading to her for like half an hour. And then she said, because we're actually the guru, and if you become guru, and then you don't need guru anymore. She actually felt like, and was convinced of that. And I was like,
But she said that we'll use Buddha, and then once we're done with Buddha, we'll kill him? Is that what she said?
If you see Buddha, kill him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, because we are actually guru.
Oh, I see. So if you see Buddha, kill him, because we're actually guru. Like, in other words, we don't need Buddha. Yeah, we don't need Buddha, just throw him away.
And I was like, really?
Wow. Was she kind of like mentally, like, did she seem like mentally, like, deranged type of person?
No, she was just like,
Or like angry?
no.
Or was she said it very kind of very like cool and,
Yeah, she was cool and lightheaded. She was just a Mayavadi.
oh, like, yeah, you know, if you see Buddha, then just, you know, just kill him, because we're all the guru. That kind of like that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But she got books. It was nice.
Oh, she got books. Okay, good.
It was crazy. I was just thinking, like, and I was explaining.
I wonder why she took the books, because if you don't need a guru, we're all guru, you know.
And I was
Wow, that's your mercy. Wow, yeah.
I was explaining to her, like just even for us, like just imagine how much like time, energy, emotion invested the teacher gives to the students. Sort of, like, how could we ever give up to Prabhupada, you know, or our spiritual teachers, or someone like mentors? So we like ponder upon that. I was trying to explain to her.
Well, see, that's the mercy of book distribution and preaching in general, that encounter people like that and they actually engage in devotional service, because that's actually devotional service, to buy a book and get shastra, important. Different. So it's the mercy of the preaching movement where those types of persons who say, "Oh, I mean, that's just insanity. Kill Buddha. And, we don't need guru, we're all guru." That's just. And there's so many people who get mercy in that category, in different categories. So that's nice, good. Maybe you should send that to Vijay. It's a good one.
She was set, but I was just explaining in the Krishna Lounge.
All right. Granted, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.